Sup, y'all? This is a very interesting video about money trauma, financial trauma. And the thing is that I started my own business, and even before that, I was in corporate, I was making money and stuff like that. And then the thing is that every time I made money, every time I had return on my investments around money, I couldn't, there was something shame, there was something blocked me either to reinvest it or use it or maintain it, like I couldn't. I had this trauma around money I felt like there was this huge and big shame around money. You know, I had a big problem around it, until I finally dived down recently. And okay, I need to figure this out. There's something blocking me, something constraining me around money, So every time I wanted to manage my money, every time I wanted to budget my money, it felt wrong. It felt that, okay, I'm doing something wrong. I'm doing an act that is wrong. Yeah, right. So I went into myself and really like tried to figure out what is it, what is all this about money, And then one thing I want to share in this quick video that might inspire you as well to dive into your money problems, your money issues, and everything around money was that every time that I worked with my brother, right? Every time we did hard work, at that time we were like teenagers and we were doing this work where we had to deliver papers, even though it was raining and snowing and hauling, we still needed to go out there, even though our hands were like freezing and trembling and we're this state where your hands you cannot feel your hand, right? You cannot you still have to keep going because my dad was very angry. So if you didn't do it, the paper company will call us and then we have to go out again, and then on top of that we will have an angry dad with us, right? And it's not good, and we won't get paid as well. So we just need to go out, and then imagine that you're doing this, you're doing all this work, but then the money that you get, you don't get it. Like you won't get that full money, How crazy is that? So my dad will keep a lot of this money, if not all, and then we are like, okay, we're doing all this work, and then for no reason, there's no credibility. As a young child, you want like some kind of success, right? You want some kind of success, but then the parent, like the positive intention was that everybody should contribute and pay to this household, right? But the way it was done was just very, 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 very wrong. It was not told that my dad didn't set us down in the living room and like, hey guys, like we're doing this, we need to do this. I hope you guys will contribute to the house, and dad cannot pay everything alone. And yeah, then you get some experiences. It's all right, but I will give you some, yeah, I'll give you half of the money. There was no such things as that. It was just like work, no matter what, just work, work, work. You not get any of the money, There's no explanation. So growing up in that environment was just sick, was just fucking sick, So you grow up in that, and then you realize that okay, like okay, I gave so much effort, I put so much effort in, and I don't get anything out of it, Like, and then and your adult life, for me, I just ended up slacking, It ended up like work, like didn't really want to do my work, Like even in my bachelor's degree, I just slacked off. Really didn't want to put an effort in, The same in my master's, slack most of the time. I just slacked out until the final exam. Then I worked pretty hard, I want to give it my best, And then I also got my best ever grade. But then ever since then it happened again. I went into the workforce, and then I again slacked. I was just like a zombie, most of the time. I didn't want to work. I just want to slack off and get this pay, right? But then I got the pay, but I couldn't really know. I didn't know how really to invest in it until after a couple of years. Then I knew it, and then took it out, and then I started to invest in myself, right? And that is where I'm at right now. I'm at this point now because now I can help other people and stuff like that. But still, there's something within me, like, I don't get the, how can I say it, like, I don't get the full praise, right? But now I get it. I get the phrase, but it could be even better, right? But also, like, I wouldn't be shameful around getting money, as due to before. There was this big shame because every time I got money, it got taken away, and my dad also screamed at us, yelled at us, everything around money, On top of that, my parents actually stole from each other as well, So that I can talk about in another video. But yeah, anyway, like I went back into the pain from my childhood around money. So I went back and just re-experienced everything around, like we're working hard and we're not, getting the appraisal. We're not getting the money. We're not getting the payout, right? So I just have to relive that all over again, release and heal this inner child. So one way you can do this around money trauma is like if you have a similar story, it can be, let's say that you also worked really hard and then the money got taken away from you, or maybe even you lost it, or maybe even you, I don't know, like what happened, like, maybe you got robbed or whatever. I met this other girl the other day. She got, like, her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, took all her money. So that's another money trauma, right? So maybe that can lead to her like, is it even worth making money because it's gonna be taken away. So it's a little bit similar, right, to my story. So how can you work on this? The way you can do it is to close your eyes. You do shadow work, and then you just breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And then you dive in to this higher self, this loving self, and then you see in the corner of the room, of the dimension, you see this child which is working really, really hard and not getting any praise, or not getting any rewards, not getting anything, nothing, right? And then you walk towards this person, this little innocent child. You walk towards that person, and then you go down, and then you drag yourself towards this little child, and you drag it into you, and then you hug it, and then you accept what is going on. You accept all the feelings, the emotions, the thoughts, the repressed trauma, everything around this child, and then you release it, release it, release it, release it, as much as you possibly can. Just release everything around this child, everything that you have learned, you release it around this child, everything, you know. And then you tell this child everything is all right, there's nothing wrong, nobody has done anything wrong, you are all right. And then you heal it, you heal it, you heal it, you heal it, you release it, release it, release it, until everything just explodes into love, It explodes into love. And you release and heal everything. The love just accepts and forgives everything around that happening, that you put in this performance, you work really hard, but then all this money got taken away from you and you had no praise or no credibility, nothing, and then you release it and realize you are in love, and then after some moments you're back into the now, you're back into the present moment, and you are fully back, and you feel more lighthearted, you feel more at peace. So that is how you can release your beliefs, perspectives around money, and believe me, like, this can really change your perception around money, and it can actually make you be in a state where just money just flows in. So you can do this, like, go for it, do this.